The next step we're going to do is take this center point and move it up so that we can start to play with the dimension of these faces on our pyramid. So copy your last definition down for this next step and disable the preview of all of these. So now if we look into this, what we want to do is move or translate this point up in the z direction a certain distance. So if we type in move command on our canvas, you'll see that it asks for a geometry and a translation vector or a motion, which we both have set. So we're going to take our center point geometry because we want to move the center point from the beginning of that point. And then for the translation vector, even though it's defaulted as the z in 10, I want you to pull on this kind of component so you begin to work with these and call out the vectors. If you go into your vector and then within the vector subpalette, you'll see that you have a unit y, unit x, and unit z. If for your component you want to be moving it in the xy direction, use one of these vectors to begin with for now. You feed this into your t and you'll automatically see that it's moving up 10 based off of this kind of output that we get here, or 1, which is the last index of that vector. So what it's asking for here is a factor, so we can put in any kind of integer to multiply or control the length of this vector. So I'm going to bring in another number slider, which we had here, and hook this into the z so that we can begin. And I'm also going to change the range of this because it's so large that, no, it's not so large. It is just too large for this. I'll make it to 2. The scale of my object is too small. And you'll start to see that now we can move a point up and down in the z direction off of that center point. So now the trick is to reassociate this geometry, which is this point. If you click it, you'll see this highlighted in Rhino. We want to move this, create the lines that go back to these that create that new face. So this is just a series of developing polylines with these shared vertices. So if I go from there to there, that's 1. This is my second. And then this is my third. And now if I play with this, the entire pyramid will change its size. The trick now is to reallocate these curves to be associated to the one next to it. So if we look at these curves here, what I want to do is detach. First of all, hide these curves, this one, or remove it from this because it's no longer associated. So we don't need that, and I can disable this preview. Then I need to turn off these two. We don't need that, and I'll disassociate it from there. And then I'll feed these back into the overall geometry. And you'll see that we have the new pyramid suggested there. We can also turn off our starting center point because we don't need that indicated. And also I'm going to turn off this point on curve because it's not necessary. So now if I play with this, I have control of the height of my pyramid as well as the degree of angle from the one adjacent to it.